7 in the NLT. And in my vision that night, I saw a fourth beast, terrifying, dreadful, and very strong. It devoured and crushed its victims with a huge iron teeth. It's symbolic, right? It devoured and crushed its victims with huge iron teeth and trampled their remains beneath its feet. It was different from any other. It was different from any of the other beasts, and it had 10 horns.
Can you read that again?
Daniel 7:7. That in my vision that night I saw a fourth beast, terrifying, dreadful, and very strong. It devoured and crushed its victims with huge iron teeth and trampled their remains beneath its feet. It was different from any of the other beasts, and it had 10 horns. So there's a lot of ways. So that's one way bring up that the Roman Empire was different.
It's military might.
Yes, it was at the time it was the most powerful military to come on the scene. Why was it different from other empires? Because of iron, and because it brings every nation. Go ahead, bro.
No. I want to be able to. You can just rest it here and just put it here.
Monarchy. You're right. Right? They had the plebeians and patricians. Senate. Right?
Okay.
You got that?
Which the Greeks had a senate, but they didn't exercise it like the Romans. They actually still had a monarchy. They had kings. Right? Alexander was the king. Then there was 4 generals.
Right. Go ahead.
Yeah, just in regards to the difference. This is First Maccabees 8, verse 15, and it says, "Moreover, how they have made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men in council daily, consulting always for the people, to the end they might be well ordered." Just going into the difference between how Rome was very different from past empires, the empires that came before them, which had more of like you say, if you're a king, the king would have a son, and the son would rule, right?
Yeah.
That's really the deep difference, right? They had
Monarchy.
Yep. They had Caesars.
That's right. Let's go back now, Revelation 7. 17. Oh, no. Yeah. 17. No, 7. No, 7. 7 and 7 and read the 8. Oh, Daniel. Daniel. Sorry, Revelation Daniel. Daniel 7 and 8. As I was looking at the horns, suddenly another small horn appeared among them. 3 of the first horns were torn out by the roots to make room for it. Okay. I like how that NLT broke that down. So, Barak, what's the 3 horns represent? What are they symbolic of? The biggest kingdom that ruled for America. Kind of, but now you gotta get a little cleaner. Yashar. You know? Bonnie out, what is it? Talking about the American, the French. The French, the English, and the Spanish. What about it? Break it down. So they were exposed by America. How? Break it down. According to the prophecy, it said these 3 horns were plucked up to make room for the little horn. Yeah, military, they supersede these nations by nothing. Let's be clear to that. Ariel, you know? So that little horn is America. We all agree on that. It says these 3 other horns were plucked up to make room for that little horn. In the history of America, to get its independence, it had to go through a series of wars. The main one being the British-American War. To really finalize that independence, we had the Spanish-American War, the French-American War. Revolutionary Wars. Exactly. So read that again. Daniel 7 and 8. As I was looking at the horn, suddenly another small horn appeared among them.
3 of the first horns were torn out by the roots to make room for it.
See, so this fourth beast had another horn that came out of it. And 3 of the horns that were on it were torn out to make room for that one horn. America is the extension of Rome. See, now we're at the latter end, and it's prophetic. And just like Yahushua was crucified in Rome, he's coming back to the extension of Rome. So the same spirits that pierced them. You see that? So it's all played in prophecy, right? And the only way you can understand the times is by following the prophecies in Scripture.
Just had a quick point. Also, like in the prophecies, the reason why they were torn out because the French, the Brits, and Spain or Spaniards were also there in that land. Right. That's why some countries are called like New Orleans, is like this French, right? Louisiana, yeah. Right. So there's a reason why those names are there, right? So beautiful.
And also, it was really the bankers that set it up. We're going to the history. They set up those wars.
Yeah. Go back to Daniel 2. And this is why the scriptures say, with all thy all thy getting, get understanding. And you tie it to Isaiah 33:6. Wisdom and knowledge is to build that time. A lot of hell is coming. It's going to increase on ways that it will shake you to the foundation of your core if you're not rooted in the understanding of the prophecies. Okay, you know how these top weak elite operate is they create wars for the cry. You got to create world wars so that you have cries of world peace. That's what they do. And that's what they're getting ready to do now. So they're going to create this. They're creating this third world war, which is really the Lord doing it. Okay, so that people would cry for world peace. But the world peace that's coming, as we know, is the mark of the beast, which is not peace at all. But we're dealing with the devil. You see, but if you understand prophecy, that should keep you rooted and understand, okay, this guy's trying to deceive you. These are all happening. And while this, actually, you're going to read it, while this is happening, the Lord is establishing the kingdom of heaven in the midst of the downfall of the Edomite Empire, which is synonymous to the Babylonian Empire, which is America. Go ahead.
Daniel 2 and 42. As the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Right. These EU nations, some of them are politically stronger than others, military, financially, economically. Okay. So they make pacts, they make agreements, but they don't stick and they don't work out because usually the stronger countries are like, you know what, I want more than what you're asking. And while the weaker countries can't offer, so guess what? Things don't work out. All right, go ahead.
43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Now let me see if anybody knows. When it says they should mingle themselves with the seed of men, does anybody know what that's going into? Anybody here? No? Even any of you brothers know what that's going into? If you do, break it down. No, not the wheat and the tares. When it says in Daniel 2, and we're at 43? Yeah, 43. They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. Seed. Anybody knows? You break it down.
Read over one time.
So there's 3 classifications of men, like the sons of God, which is the Israelites, the sons of men, which is these are the heathen nations, and then the sons of the wicked, which is Esau, Edom. So the seed of men is the classification of the sons of men.
That's true, but that's not the breakdown.
Okay,
that's true, though. Go ahead, read that again.
Daniel 2 and 43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay.
Oh, Salakia, but the breakdown is that Esau mixed with the seed of men?
No.
Okay,
no.
Salakia.
Kind of, but a little cleaner.
Okay, yeah.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
So we're talking about an empire. So they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but it won't cleave together. Just like iron, miry clay doesn't cleave with iron. In the ancient world, how would you establish a dynasty between 2 nations? How would you? Marriages. Yeah, NLT kind of gives it away. I didn't want to bring it up yet. It gives it away. NLT gives it away.
Even the AMP.
AMP is good. So in the ancient world where you want to join two houses, two empires, marriage. So they shall mingle themselves in the seed of men. That's the ancient world of doing that. Now, you don't marriage, means the word marriage means to join together. Now these nations are joining countries, businesses, allies, pacts, right? That's the modern day of doing it. And some of these pacts are tied to marriages. The elites still do this kind of thing, but not some of them aren't. That makes sense? So read that again, and you can read it in NLT.
KJ first.
Yeah, yeah.
Daniel 2:43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay,
Right.
they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
Iron, so different nations, different empire, different countries, right?
Crazy,
In the ancient world and today, European nations, yeah.
But they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Yes, so these pacts that they make in the ancient world through marriages and the ones they do today are not going to work out.
Beautiful point, brother. I must bring this out because I grew up in a time of the Shah of Iran. The Shah of Iran, we know that he's a so-called Persian. He was married to an American woman, right? Of so-called royalty. Yes. So, and that failed miserably. You can look into it. So, hey, pay attention to what is being said, right? Hey, they tried it while the prophets were coming up, and the prophecy proved that it's not going to work, right? That's why you don't see it anymore. You don't see it anymore. And if it happens, excuse me, behind the scenes, it's not really just like with excuse me, what's the name of this? Markle and this yeah, they tried it. Markle, yeah, we're not gonna get into it. We know what these people are all about. What it looks like is not what it really is. But anyway, they tried and it didn't work.
Get that shit
That's
out
why
of
I'm
here.
about to shop.
So go ahead and read the I got it. Yeah.
I see what you're reading out.
Better
Okay,
clean
so
that shit.
Daniel 2:43 in the AMP. And as you saw the iron mixed with common clay, so they will combine with one another in the seed of men, but they will not merge. For such diverse things or ideologies cannot unite, even as iron does not mix with clay.
Woo, that's beautiful because guess what? They all have different ideologies, different ways that they want to rule, how they think things should go. Even among the top wicked elite, the bankers, the different sons, the families, they want to rule this way, they want to rule that way. AMP gives you history too. Wow. So NLT?
I gotta read that NLT too. Yeah. Daniel 2:43 NLT. The mixture of iron and clay also shows that these kingdoms will try to strengthen themselves by forming alliances with each other through intermarriage.
See, and we just go into the history with that, right?
But
So yeah, keep going.
okay. But they will not hold together just as iron and clay do not mix.
Yeah, and you see the same thing happening right now. This is why Turkey is so pivotal. You guys understand Turkey is huge in prophecy. And geographically, where you see it, you got the Black Sea, you got Russia, Ukraine, right? And you got the rest of what's so-called known as Europe, which is Asia. If Turkey and Israel, they're looking to attack Turkey. One of the military bases, right? Yeah, one of the military bases. Now, not to get into like too far, but to activate Article 5, it has to be on sovereign soil, right? So where all the other nations have to get together. If Turkey decides to bow out of NATO, that's it for the European countries. Because NATO is literally there to defend against Russia. If Turkey says, hey, we're good, we don't want to be a part of NATO, this, that, the third, they're free agents, so to speak. They're out there now. They can do whatever they want. They can join with Russia, which we know that's prophecy anyways. Yeah? That's going to happen. We're just watching it happen in real time. Paul said, we see through a glass darkly, even through prophecy. So as we get closer and closer to the fulfillment of it, it's going to be clearer and clearer. Right? So, anyways, go back and finish that up. Yeah. 43? Yeah, 43, and then be done at 45. Okay. So while these skirmishes, broken up alliances, and the heathen and Esau are scrambling, right? The Lord is doing this in the midst of all that. Go ahead.
Daniel 2:43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Right? And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven, Yahweh Shai, set up a kingdom. You see? Okay. Yeah, keep going, keep going. Which shall never be destroyed. So in the midst of all this, the Lord is setting up a kingdom. And that's why the prophets are here. Right? And what's the beginning of the kingdom of heaven? Absolutely. But what's the beginning of the kingdom of heaven? According to scripture. Exactly. This knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we have. That's why Yahushua said the kingdom of heaven is already in you. It starts with this knowledge. So while these guys are scrambling and falling, the Lord is setting up a kingdom right before their eyes, which is going to cause them to speed up anyway. So like, fuck, prophecy's happening. They know that the prophets are going to wake up in the latter days. They don't know who the elect are, but they knew the prophets are going to wake up. Now that the prophets have woken up, it's forcing these devils to speed up, force their hands, which is really in our favor anyway. You want to get the fuck up out of here. Right? So, hey, we have a saying, it's working. Yeah, it's working.
That's right.
You're not cleaving one to
That's
another.
right.
Prophecy's fulfilling right before your eyes. But you're dead asleep because the Lord have you asleep.
That's right.
But he has the prophets wide awake for the elect's sake. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms. Right. We know Yahweh Shai is going to do that. This is our last captivity, man. So if you're in prophecy, whether you're teaching it or you understand it, you should be invigorated. We're almost out of here. Right? Go ahead. And it shall stand forever. Go ahead. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it breaks in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great Yahweh Shai hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation therefore sure. Or thereof sure. Beautiful, man. That was thousands of years ago. We're living it out right now, man. So you can't compare this book to any other book. Okay?
Have a script?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Ezekiel 38 and 5. It says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah, which is Turkey, of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are to thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And the guard unto them is going into Russia.
Somebody hold Obadiah 1.
Khan, and the guard unto who? Russia. All right, like the elder said, they're going to be allies, linked up, clicked up in this World War III to come, man. Right. A lot of people are going to be switching sides, which is prophecy anyways, and alliances are going to be made. Right. Lines are going to be drawn in the sand.
Right.
Exactly. Because you said like Turkey, if Turkey, you said if Turkey leaves NATO, Russia's going to come in. Exactly. There's going to be a lot more because Turkey has the second largest military after U.S. and NATO. Standing personal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Active personal.
That's right.
So that's just going to be, like you said, a free for all.
Exactly.
They're going to join what's in the spirit. Russia.
Yeah.
The prophecy.
That's right.
The prophecy. There's going to be a lot of trade that's going to get. Right. I think they contribute almost $2 trillion.
Yeah.
To NATO. Turkey. Just Turkey. Yeah. Right. Because in the ancient world, that was a trade route.
Right.
That was one of the biggest trade routes in history.
That's right. That's right. That's right, man.
If I can add on to that too, with Turkey, because they're part of NATO, they don't have nukes, but they stage nukes. There's a lot of NATO nations that actually stage nukes. Like America would say, hold this nuke and have it here, but they actually stage American nukes. You see what I'm saying? So what happens when they make a switch and they switch sides and they still have those nukes in their territory? You get what I'm trying to say? Even Germany stages nukes. They don't officially have them, but they stage nukes for America. So all these different nations, they're going to be able to stage nukes. Like even Japan staged nukes, and I'm sure Japan wants their get back. You know what I'm saying? So different countries will launch missiles onto America, man.
Yeah. And just like that's what the elder said about how the bankers are behind this. All the while, the bankers are funding all these wars in the background, right? So when these tiny tops attack Turkey, or they attack a military base, that supposedly Turkey has, I think, 10%. They have military bases in Syria, and then so is Syria in between Turkey and the tiny top land, so-called, right? So their justification is we can't have you rolling in there and getting too close to our borders. No one will threaten Israel, right? Okay, you attack them on sovereign land, or you don't attack them on sovereign land. That aggravates Article 6, where other nations still have to get involved. So who is bringing the squeeze and the stress to all these nations, and then putting America at the face of it? The small hats, which we know what cost that is. The least the flock should draw them out, right? So if you attack Turkey, as the small hats are looking like they're going to, and you aggravate Article 5 or 6, guess what? It's going to cause all these other all the other nations to get involved and kind of what's the term? Not cater, but cart Turkey along, which is not going to be good enough because there's a pact. They're supposed to follow the pact. They don't follow it, Turkey becomes a free agent, and all the while the U.S. is selling what are those jets? F-45 jets, one of the highest military type jet, you know, and guess who's ruining that? Small hats once again. Why are they ruining that? Because ultimately, the small hats, they want to be the hegemony in the East, and really they want to be the hegemony globally. That's why you see them in Latin America building up infrastructure for Venezuela, Thailand, Africa. So they're literally taking the script of America, what America did, defense tax, and the petrodollar. The new petrodollar is AI. If you want to be a part of this race, guess what? And small hats have the best AI infrastructure. That's why they're down there in Venezuela. So literally, you're seeing these top wicked elites, the bankers, dismantle America and set up their so-called,
even Mexico from years ago. The top cartel guys, they were trained in that land back in the Middle East. They learned torture techniques, different. Tiny top. Right? So they're running that and they're using that situation too.
Yeah.
See? You little rats are skirting around the whole world starting fires.
Or the war, right?
Say it again?
Right. The Lord of Angels.
Right.
God. We talked about Judah shall be the neck. All the other nations are going to be the neck of these small hats too. That's right. That's right.
I don't know where
I just typed in Turkey, right? The news it says Turkey issues fresh genocide arrest warrant for Netanyahu amid growing Syria tensions.
Syria tensions. So Syria is that little hotspot there between those two countries. Right?
Yeah. At least the Flocky was going to bring it up.
Oh, yeah.
Read it. Yeah, bring it out, brother.
Jeremiah 49:20 reads, "Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Jehovah, outside, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes, that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman."
Yeah, because the tiny tops, the Russians, all the Europeans, and America are basically Edomites. They are ruling. So you're really seeing a skirmish with Edomites. Just like in the ancient Roman Empire, all the same thing happening all over it. Right? Go ahead.
Remember that movie, Underworld with vampires?
Oh, yeah.
Vikings.
Yeah, they were fighting amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
And
And it reads, "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out.
Right.
Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them."
It's like because you mentioned Underworld, you played. They're fighting each other. They're even more demonic vampires. They're like, we gotta get rid of these guys. They're gonna eat us.
Wild.
Between the purebreds and the half-breeds that would turn.
Wow. Hey, it's not working, all that intermarrying stuff. And all the bullshit. What's that called? The inbreds. The inbreds. They're basically a bunch of inbreds. And your bloodline explains that. And the scriptures explain that. Deuteronomy goes into it.
That inbred is Amalek being put over there in the house of like Moab, Ammon, Greens, stuff like that, and then setting up and putting up these elected leaders. You're like, oh, who is this guy? And you find out, oh, this guy, he's the ex-CIA, and you're like, and then down the line, this guy, he goes back to Ammon. Right?
the Saudi house, the royal Saudi house. Those are Amalekites. The guy that sold them out, he got killed because he said, "Look, we're Arabs. We'll go back to the desert. We'll drink milk and you know, and dates. We'll eat dates and drink milk. We don't need your oil. We don't need your money." They killed him, and then his brother came in and he sold him out.
Beautiful point. Hey, a lot of meat was just given. I just want to give a little milk, because you brought up turkey. You brought up turkey, right? Yeah. Hey, Megalomantis. Hey, go look it up, and you'll find out the reason is you mentioned in regards to the Edomites. They're in there trying to cleave. Go ahead, brother.
Turkey is
go ahead.
Yeah. For younger brothers.
Yeah.
You got to look up these words. Look at biblical math.
Where we at? Obadiah?
Yeah, are we Psalms 83 real quick? Oh, Salak. Oh yeah, you did say you had something. Go ahead.
This quick one. This is Mark 3, verse 23. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how shall I speaking, how can Satan cast out Satan? If a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided itself, that house cannot stand.
Right, the house is divided. Look at America the Great right now. Look at this recent press, this recent thing in the news with the aircraft carrier. Right? There's men jumping off the aircraft carrier.
They're going to fight.
There's reports that they're fighting each other. You know, with plastic words, plastic cutlery. You know,
they're getting mental. They're going through their mental thing. Right. Right.
Yes.
Right.
They've been at sea too long.
Yeah.
Beautiful point.
Yeah, like 9 months. 10 months.
Got no food.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
They shall not cleave one to another. I'm glad you bring that up, brother. That's a very important thing. The spirit of prophecy was never with them, right? And we're seeing it fulfilled in regards to their mindset. Plague, and they're crashing out fast.
And what will mutiny lead to? If you're mighty men, your military is staging mutinies and uprising amongst themselves, that leads to civil war. Right? Remember the movie Civil War?
Yeah.
You have the North versus the South.
Yeah.
These guys, they were running around the streets wearing camouflage and Crocs.
Yeah.
Well, there was 4 factions, but they didn't really show you in that movie. There was like 4 or 5 different factions.
Well, that makes sense because everyone's divided.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're with the MAGA, there's divisions within the MAGA. You know, the Trump and there's gonna be all kinds of splintered factions. What I believe, this guy, I'm gonna follow him.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
fuck you got this. You know.
That's true.
Let me finish this one more. And Mark 3, verse 26. And it says, and if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. And this going into the divisions between Esau's, you know, the American people,
American Edomites,
Russian Edomites. Isaiah says, I will set out Egyptian against the Egyptians. So even in their different belief systems, there's going to be some people that believe in this and some people believe in this. Right? So it's always not with everybody coming together.
That's right. And then the wicked, right? The wicked can never come together. Right? Because then eventually one of the wicked, being wicked, is going to want more.
That's right.
Going in hand.
That's right.
We shall not be disappointed.
The devices of the crafty. Yeah. That was cool. Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, you want to bring up something?
It's okay. Go ahead.
It's a scripture you mentioned, but the main point I was going to make is the offenses of that. So it says here, Jeremiah 51:30, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. Right. They have remained in their homes. Their might have failed. They became as women. Right? They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. So, you know, when men go out to fight wars, you know it's going to be a hard time. They're not going to have their food. You know, these are mindsets you should have when you're going into war. So the fact that these guys are jumping off in the water, killing themselves, right? They're showing you that their mindset is of a woman.
That's it. Yeah. That's true. Obadiah?
Obadiah 1.
Right?
Obadiah 1. NLT. This is the vision that the sovereign Lord Yahweh revealed to Obadiah concerning the land of Edom. We have heard a message.
So prophetically, where's the land of Edom today? Aria, prophetic ring. Exactly, America. Yeah. Why America? True, but why specifically America? Why couldn't it be Venezuela? Why America? Bro? Right. You have the Pax Romana, right? But really, the bankers, they used America. They even tell you in their little discussions, they used America as a patsy to run the world, right? That's why Edom in Obadiah, you can link that prophetically to America. That is the capital of the Edomite Empire. It's America, right? Good.
Again, this is the vision that the sovereign Lord revealed to Obadiah concerning the land of Edom. We have heard a message from the Lord Yahweh that an ambassador was sent to the nations to say, get ready, everyone. Let's assemble our armies and attack Edom.
Right. Talking about America, prophetically. Okay? Right? Talking about America prophetically. Now, Trump had his, Trump is saying F you to these NATO nations, spit in the faces of the EU nations, stir up the aggravation. Now, all these Gulf states, they made a pact. Hey, we'll sell all our oil in your dollars for military aid. Military aid right now. Iran is bombing the hell out of all of them. Where's the military aid? So two things are happening through this war with America and Iran. It's exposed. One, America's not the military. Everybody's mind in terms of America and its military was stuck in the 70s. We're really going back to the Second World War. Revelation 13. Someone can hold that. Revelation 13:3. Right? That's one. Exposed that they're not as strong as people once thought. Right? And two, you can't trust this whore. You can make alliances, pacts, and she don't do shit.
Can you trust the whore?
Exactly. Exactly. Right? You put all these alliances in, but you can't trust this whore. Okay? So somebody get that Revelation 13. Yeah.
Revelation 13:3. And I saw one of his heads as they were wounded to death.
Right, yeah.
And his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast.
Right, going into the Renaissance, right? That classical era when they bring back ancient Roman, their old empire, the Edomites. Renaissance, you got one big faction out of that, which was allowed to get into that too in the spirit, is theater. And you got Jesuits in that time called Jesuit theater, which is really big in witchcraft, sorcery, and controlling the mind.
That's what Hollywood perfected.
Exactly.
Pretty much took that and they just made a motion picture.
Exactly. Yes. Of the stage.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
And then it's like they do it on a bigger level with real life.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Idols and celebrities and
Politicians. Yeah. Go ahead.
And you want the next verse or still over that?
Read that verse again, then jump down to where you made fire come down from heaven. I think that's the 14th verse.
Revelation 13:3. And I saw one of his heads as they were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast.
Right. One live like America, lifestyle, all of the ideologies, so-called freedom, really captivity, right? But they described it as freedom. Now, so that was the sweet attraction. That was the sweet attraction. Now go down to verse 14.
Verse 13. Yeah. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
Yeah, so that was that attraction through fear. So once they were excited, and when they saw what happened to Nagasaki and Hiroshima with the time, they were like, "Yo, we're gonna make war with this war. You can't touch this woman. So let's just make alliances and chill." But then they got into this war. The Lord, what's the precept you quoted just now?
Well,
No, the Lord, He tricked them. Right, through a monkey wrench.
Device of the crafty.
The device of the crafty. He disappointed the device of the crafty. The Lord did that by having them get into this war with Iran. Now you're being exposed. You're not that one that country you used to be before. You could have kept everybody under the same umbrella of fear, but now all that's coming out, right? Yeah, that was it on that. Yes,
Real quick. Your brother's talking about the kingdom divided.
Right.
This is Matthew 12 and 25 in the AMP. Knowing their thoughts, Yahushua said to them, any kingdom that is divided against itself is being laid waste, and no city or house divided against itself will continue to stand. NLT says Yahushua knew their thoughts and replied, any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed. A town or family splintered by feuding will fall apart.
That's what we're seeing. The feuding of the Edomite family. All right, and all the different splinters, like you said, factions. Civil War. Yeah.
I have a quick one to back you up. Job 5 and 12 in the AMP frustrates the devices and schemes of the crafty, so that their hands cannot attain success or achieve anything of lasting worth.
Hey, these guys scheme, bro. They scheme your life.
Yeah.
Generations. What are the projections going to be? Oh, there's going to be this damage, this. Fuck it, do it.
Yeah.
And that's like affecting generations of people that are do it. Fuck it. Scheming, bro.
Yeah.
And like all kinds of ways.
Yeah.
You know? Just any kind of way you can do all kinds of lessons on that. Any kind of way that they're scheming on your life. From you buying a car, you getting a woman, any aspect of your life is a scheme, bro.
Scheme, yep.
It's a fucking scheme.
Yeah. School to prison pipeline. Yeah. You know, he has all these pipelines, you know, funneling you in. And he capitalizes on all of these pipelines. You know? Yeah. He's a devil, man.
Now, before we go back to Obadiah, going to that fear, somebody get Jeremiah 49 and getting the NLT start at 15. You're going to see, so we're tracing, okay, the alliance is breaking up. These people fearing the whore. Now the whore is being exposed for this lack of loyalty and its weakness. The Lord said this will happen to Edom in Jeremiah 49, 15 NLT. I got it.
Jeremiah 49 and 15. Okay. The Lord Yahweh Yahushua says to Edom, I will cut you down to size. I will cut you down to size among the nations. You'll be despised by all.
See, that's happening. Hey, I train a lot of foreign clients, multi-millionaire, and all they ever talk about is the corruption in America. They love to do business there, but they also have to be weird because of corruption. They rather do business in China, right? Dubai, you still can't manage any business there, but mainly China. So all these other nations, especially through the EP files, first and foremost, starting with the apostles and bishops and others going down, bringing up the vibration of this truth that's lifted up the skirts of this book, right? But all they talk about is the corruption, especially through politics.
If I can back you up, because America is very litigious culture over there, very litigious. So everything's a lawsuit, lawyer this, law this, that, and the third. You know, everybody's suing and all that shit. So what you're saying, to back up what you're saying, you know, we're talking about you got it. Yeah, in America. Yeah, heavily litigious. You know.
Same here.
True.
You can sue anybody. You can go to a party, and if you get injured at that party, you can sue the person hosting the party. You can sue anybody for almost anything. That's what liability is about, right? Esau created this shit about liability, so that's why when you go to a restaurant, they have to throw away the food, fresh food. They can't give it to anybody because if they get sick, that bum can sue them.
Wow.
You know, you can get those lawyers that give, they work for them.
Yeah.
Money. You can still win, but that's Esau, man. Litigation, bro.
And it's so wicked with it. You could have commercial insurance liability, right? And then you get a claim, sued, and your insurance company will take care of it, pay out of pocket. If you lose the claim, they'll pay out of pocket. Then your insurance company drops you, and then you can't get insurance anywhere else. Now you're out of business, right? They're wicked.
Yeah, go back to that. Jeremiah.
Jeremiah 49:15. deceived the Lord Yahweh Yoshai, says to Edom. I will cut you down to size among the nations. You will be despised by all. You have been deceived by the fear you inspire in others and by your own pride.
You see, and we run into that fear through the military. They've been able to weaponize their dollar by sanctions, blockades, embargoes, cut you out of a whole global economy because you're storing up their dollars in your bank, right? So they've been able to weaponize that, and then obviously through the military. So the fear, we got to give up a shot. They've been deceived.
Okay, okay. You have been deceived by the fear you inspire in others and by your own pride.
Yeah, because yes, you're a great nation, but what can one great nation do against multiple nations at once? America can't take all those nations at once. That's why the scriptures talk about 200,000 or 200 million missiles, man, to one place. Yeah, that's a lot of hate. That's a lot of hate. You know, and you're seeing the hate ferment and rise and rise and rise until boom.
Hey, like you go on TikTok, you'll see a video of a cop pulling some cake over. Yeah. And then you'll see in the comments, America's evil. 40,000 likes. You know, likes. People are like, you know what I mean? Yeah. They're like, yo, this place is wicked.
Yeah.
They're watching the interaction. They're just like, they don't experience this shit. They're like, this is bugged out.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Hey, you got this bitch. She strangled her 3 kids. You guys see that? Yeah. Postpartum depression.
Oh,
you got a bunch of women out there supporting her, going out there in the courtroom saying, "Oh, we gotta support her." She strangled her 3 children. They're all under like 10. So like one was 3, one was 6, one was 9, with an exercise ball. Yeah, GoFundMe. Yeah. So that's, you know what that is? That's a sacrifice. That's for Baal. That's for Molech. 3 sacrifices. 3.
Yeah.
That's right.
Go ahead.
You live in a rock fortress and control mountain heights, but even you make your nest among the peaks with eagles.
Yeah, and that's twofold. They actually live among the mountains and the rocks. Petra, Roman style. And they even had a what's it called? A place for entertainment. What do you call that?
Coliseum?
We call it Coliseum. A place for entertainment. Watch the Coliseum.
Roman Coliseum? Yeah.
Got little holes in the wall, and they just sit there. You know, so they had it, but this is twofold. It says among the mountains. Mountains also is symbolized for governments. So you sit up top of all the other global governments, right? Through the line of your witchcraft and sorceries, and then your sword, the military, right? Go ahead.
I will bring you crashing down, says the Lord. Right. Edom will be an object of horror. All who pass by will be appalled and will gasp at the destruction they see there. It will be like the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah and their neighboring towns, says the Lord.
You see, the fire's going to rain down there. That's what happened with Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, so you know if the Spirit is dealing with you, the Spirit of America is also the Spirit of Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, go ahead.
No one will live there. No one will inhabit it. It will come like a lion from the thicket of the Jordan.
That's it. Okay. Go back over that.
I mean, at a point, that also proves that that fire, when you see that fire, that same fire judgment in Jeremiah 49, 50, Isaiah 13, is not speaking about ancient Babylon. Because ancient Babylon wasn't destroyed that way.
Right? Whoever has Obadiah.
Again. This is Obadiah 1 and verse 1. This is the vision that the sovereign Lord Yahweh revealed to Obadiah concerning the land of Edom. We have heard a message from the Lord Yahweh that an ambassador was sent to the nations to say, "Get ready, everyone. Let's assemble our armies and attack Edom." Verse 2. The Lord Yahweh says to Edom, "I will cut you down to size among the nations. You will be greatly despised. You have been deceived by your own pride. You have been deceived by your own pride because you live in a rock fortress and make your home high in the mountains. Who can ever reach us way up here? You ask boastfully."
The scriptures say they that live deliciously. Right? America is the land of unwild villages. Right? They haven't been taught virgin daughter of Babylon. Hence their pride. This guy, this Nero 47 is all week we're seeing him saying, we're going to declare the state of Hormuz, state of America. American acid. Right? That's his pride. Right, man?
Verse 4. But even if you soar as high as eagles and build your nest amongst the stars, I will bring you crashing down, says the Lord Yahweh.
That's what we know is talking about America the Great. Right? The eagle. Right? They inherited the same symbol from the ancient Roman Empire. Right, man?
If thieves came at night and robbed you, what a disaster awaits you. They would not take everything. Those who harvest grapes always leave a few for the poor.
And America's greedy. Right? You can't just take one and leave you with something. They got to strip you. Take you off, man.
Strip you. They own land over in Costa Rica, right? With the pineapples and the bananas. No one is allowed that lives there is allowed to get to it.
But they live there. Crazy.
Yeah.
Capitalism.
If I may add a point too, in our law we have something known as like gleaning grapes. So in ancient times, like say for example, if you have a vineyard, you know, you might prune a portion of that, but you wouldn't take everything. Normally you would leave like a small portion just for like the people who are more less fortunate. So for example, your poor, your widows, orphans, you know what I'm saying? That portion would be left aside for people who are, you know, they weren't able to take care of themselves. Like if you had a woman, she probably had a husband that died in war or something like that. That little bleeding grapes, that was put aside for them. But it shows you the mentality of America. America is just about taking, right? And basically oppressing the poor, right? And the poor represents about you Israelites, right? You know, look at you guys in Puerto Rico. Look at the plagues you guys are going through. You know, the government, you know, they have their puppets in place, and then the people can't even use the land and have access to the land like you should, because that's real riches. Land, cattle, sheep, goats, you know, those are real riches, but you Israelites are not able to enjoy the riches like where you're situated today.
You know, even like Jamaica, like the average Jamaican citizen, like they can't go to their own beach. They have to go to their beach, like their own beach. Like they can't even go to the river. Like they have to hide. That's crazy.
And going into the little leftovers, in the ancient world, that's what the brother described how it's supposed to be. But the leftovers today, what do you think that is? GMO foods, plastic. You know, plastic in your body. Meanwhile, on the other side, he said, "Look, I got a pill that can make you live for 250 years." Well, you gotta deal with the plastic first, and all the firemen, man. Esau, you're something else. But hey, guess what, man? Your time is up.
That's right.
Your time.
Get better. And when they come up with the gears, like the food is make you gain weight so quick, right?
Yeah, it's tied to death.
Well,
Yeah, like you need it. Like life is brought through seed.
but what does America mean?
Oh, bitter. Oh,
This is death, man.
life is brought through seed. Right? Now you can see that. So that's death.
You got ingredients that other countries ban illegally that are added in American Canada. You know, you got Europeans come here. They're like, this is a grape. This is the size of this. This is the size of that.
Say quiet.
This is a strawberry.
Yeah.
You guys are going into the port. This is supposed to be from the port.
Exactly.
All types of fish come through there. But you can't get the fish from here. This fish is nasty. It's when the salmon are breeding, they come here. Huge salmon. So who gonna eat fish?
Well, you can get fined. You can't even catch it. First of all, you need a license.
You need a license.
You need a license,
License
and then when
fish.
you catch it, you gotta do a sport fish. You gotta throw it back. You can't
Yeah.
you catch it with the hook, unhook it, and throw it back. You can't keep it.
If you catch it and eat it, it's
I would-
bitter. It might kill you, and then you want to sue him. You want to sue him.
Obadiah 1 and verse 6, NLT. Every nook and cranny of Edom will be searched and looted. Every treasure will be found and taken. All your allies will turn against you.
See that? And that's twofold, right? Been exposed, being this truth. But also, that's literal annihilation and complete wipeout of America.
Northern Kingdom.
I mean, nothing could actually go into the devastation of America. Okay, go ahead.
All your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you.
Yeah, because Trump just talks all this. He's just a stupid puppet. You just talk all this shit. You say NATO allies aren't doing enough.
They're looking at Aria like
and a lot of NATO allies are EU. Some EU are NATO. So you're touching both of that group. Okay, you now NATO was created to defend against Russia. But if you're saying F these NATO allies with some of our EU allies, they can't fight against Russia. That's Ezekiel 38. They're going to be forced to have a guard in Russia, especially Turkey. And then while you're when you're too soft, you got your pink small hats going around your back, making sure that your allies are done. Right? Okay, you know what? Like for instance, going to some of these Gulf states or even Venezuela. Listen, you made an alliance with America, but we're not coming to help you. Let us come in, build your infrastructure with what we got. So America is being left ass out of everybody, even as PIP, because the end all overall plan of the top legal elite was to destroy America anyway by World War III, which is the most high plan in their mind. They think that they're gonna come back and rule again. Everything up until Yahweh Shah is coming was an experiment for them. That's how prideful they are in their mind. Exactly. They can start over and reboot.
Yeah, though you dig into hell, go hit the book of Isaiah.
Isaiah 24 and 21. It shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in a pit. So it's gonna be, like that movie, like the Planet of the Apes, like that's actually gonna happen to them. Like they're gonna go into slavery under the Israelites, under the elect, under Yahweh Shai.
That's what the people are waiting for. All you people talking about the Epstein files and talking about this, you can't do nothing to the people who actually committed the crime. We have to wait on the Lord. The people who are actually committed the crimes, they're good. The people that they're locking up, they're nobody. The real criminals are children. That's right.
You saw that?
That was the law. They get a turn blind eye to this, but and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in a pit, and shall be shut up in prison, and after many days shall they be visited. So they're going to be underground and chilling, drinking wine and drinking liquor, eating good.
Chilling like a villain.
Yeah, and they're going to be abducted, man. First, head first into slavery.
That's right. Yeah, so everything that's going on with Trump and his mindset and all his rhetoric is just fulfilling prophecy. For all these nations, but you know what? You're the problem. This war's a problem. Let's get rid of it. Because they're still in one agreement with the New World Order. They just, this time now, the old world order was under the hegemony of America through the fiat currency. So now they're like, you know what? Let's run this New World Order without the war. She called all this power before us. Let's just rule without it. Not knowing what you're going to do and what you read about in Daniel's 2, Howard Shah is going to come in and take all their crowns, representing it symbolically to all their rulership. Okay? Yeah, because the war represents chaos. The world that you're bringing represents order. That's what the Edomites want with digital currency. Total control. They gave you guys complete chaos. Women's live, gay rights, everything that you thought was the sweet, just to destroy this country and to bring the clock down. That's the horn. That's the dragon. Now people are seeing the side of America you've never seen. Block cameras and
this and that and this. We've never seen this before. So you can't get away with it. So now this is the end. That's right. This is the end.
Then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion.
Right.
So Esau's wisdom, understanding is going to be destroyed. When the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion, Mount Zion is a monument, which is the that the 144,000.
Right.
In Mount Zion, in the host shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, and before his ancient glories.
Obadiah 1. Oh, sorry. Yes, your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it. At that time, not a single wise person will be left in the whole land of Edom, says the Lord Yahweh. For one of the mountains of Edom, I will destroy everyone who has understanding.
Yeah.
Mighty.
So them, the knowledge of all his councilmen are not gonna. It's not gonna work out to what they had planned. Why? Because they're being really possessed by spirits who follow the bidding of Satan. Satan follows the bidding of the Most High. Right? Go ahead. Yeah.
Job 18 and 5. Yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine.
If I may add a point too, just like when you were reading Daniel, when you get up in that same second chapter, it was when Nebuchadnezzar had his dream. He had found like all these different like astrologers, advisors back then, and back then they couldn't even give proper interpretation to Nebuchadnezzar's dream, right? Because in Isaiah it also says that the princes of Zoan are fools, right? So even Trump's advisors, they wouldn't be able to, like the bondwoman, that's always talking about prayer and bless Israel and stuff like that. They can't give understanding to what's actually happening. Right, so it's the same thing. Nothing is new under the sun, right? Same thing. They can't give understanding because the secrets are only given to the servants of God.
That's right.
This is Daniel 1 and 18. In the AMP, it reads, at the end of the time set by the king to bring all the young men in before him, the commander of the officials presented them to Nebuchadnezzar. The king spoke with them, and among them all, not one was found like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. So they were selected and assigned to stand before the king and enter his personal service.
Yeah, the prophets of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai really is opposing a you dumb elite. Right? It's like what he just said. Go ahead, brother.
And then just to get in the personal service of the king, that's a big deal. Even just to see the king. Hey, how's it going? You know what I'm saying?
You get killed for that.
You gotta get into that history. It's not like,
Yeah.
Trudeau, fuck Trudeau. No, it's not like that.
Yeah.
That's why what Esther was doing was serious, because she could just roll up like that.
Yeah, that's right. Verse 20. In every matter of wisdom and understanding, about which the king consulted them, he found them 10 times better than all the learned magicians and enchanters, magi, in his whole realm.
Right, so eventually, see, prophecy, when it first starts, it's easy for everybody to ignore it and boast. And then you get near to the end and fulfillment of it. These things that take place and happen, you won't be able to explain it with your wisdom. We can't find them, right? You won't be able to explain it with your wisdom. That's why the Lord said, and then they should know that a prophet was among them. And the prophecy is that some of the prophets that you see are going to be brought to the kings to what? To explain what the hell's going on. Why is it going on? Right? Just like it was back then. Yeah. And that's when the Lord's going to put the spirit on the prophet to condemn these kings and rulers of the earth right to their face.
Right? And they're doing it irreverently right now when they go to our page, right? And parrot. You parrot it, okay? Right? You get the breakdown, but you can't understand it, but you keep parroting, right? Constantly. So I'm just saying that to say this. Hey, the Lord's gonna exalt this even greater. Yes. Right? And that's why Brother read precept, if you were paying attention, you people at home. Right? Listen carefully. They were brought before. Right? So it's a serious thing. But yes, it's happening right now, but we're going to see greater fulfillments. That's why it was written. Go ahead.
I have a scripture to back the elder.
What's happening is that our words are being shown why what we're saying should be enacted. Why
say about women 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when the elder apostles were saying it, you would say to yourself, why are these men talking like this? Now it's being proven. Why? Why? Because before we just sounded like haters. We hated the black woman, we hate the white man, that's right, we hate the world. But now it's proven why. Why these men said what they said. And that's good for you people. Where would we at? Let's go. Oh, you know what? Hold on. We see through a glass darkness. Yeah, Corinthians, right? Yeah, Corinthians. Okay, let me get this real quick just to back up what the other was saying about now people are going to start seeing why we say what we say and why it needs to be enacted. This is 1 Corinthians 15, and I'll start at 12. In the NLT, it says, now we see things imperfectly, like puzzling reflections in a mirror. But then we will see everything with perfect clarity. Exactly. Hey, like the lady everyone's talking about, Lindsay or whatever. Right. We've already told you people what this is that. Men having multiple women. Right. That's right. You women are on camera crying. Yeah, oh, I'm stressed. I'm mad. I have to take these children by myself, and I don't understand. I have to cook, I have to clean. Okay. Wouldn't it be easier if your man had 2 other wives? Wouldn't it be easier if your man had a concubine? That would solve your problem right then and there. Whoop. That's right. Problem solved.
That's right.
Wouldn't that solve the
Wicked
the
bitch.
economic crisis that you guys are facing? Nobody can pay rent.
Yeah.
If you had 5 women in one home, boom, problem solved.
Yep.
Problem solved immediately.
Hey, I seen this Jake woman,
Got it?
right? 'Cause, you know, they like to crochet.
Yeah.
But I seen this one woman,
Go on. Yeah.
bro. If you seen the shit she makes, it looks like shit like from Gucci or from like, oh, it's good, beautiful. Like it's not like rough, you know. When you
She
sews and crochets, but she makes it like, bro, it looks
Good.
like from the store.
Wow.
Because you know, like
Good.
crochet kind of looks rough. Yeah, some people, because it takes a lot of skill to really make it look like a real. She'll make a whole dress, or she'll make like all kinds of shit. I'm like, that's a business right there. All you gotta do. I'll send in the spirit, brother.
That's right. So it says, 1 Corinthians 13 and 12. Now we see things imperfectly, like puzzling reflections in a mirror. But then we will see everything with perfect clarity. This is why you see the prophets bringing up. We're going, like the Apostle Paul says, we're in the reviewing and analyzing stage. We're bringing up the same things, but with more clarity. So we're getting closer and closer to fulfillment of these prophecies. That's right. Which gives us more insight of how they play out. So it says, and that I know now, and what proves what you're saying is that people that are not even a part of this are talking about what we're talking about. Because now they can even see it. It's that clear. That's right. When we were talking about it, you guys are crazy. That's right. You're crazy. That's right. But now, even random people can see it. That's right. Even your mom's a prophet now. Because your mom's like, yeah, I don't like this gay shit. It's going too far. It says, you know what? You might have been right. Yeah. It says, all that I know now is partial and incomplete. Mm-hmm. But that's why what we're doing takes great faith. You can't do it without faith. Right? Hey, like, these people are on like, the elites with this. We're on the new body. We're on the Savior. We're on the destruction. They can't see that yet. Right? Like, brothers are not even thinking about this, right? We're thinking about the new body because we know what we need to get the hell out of here. That's right. But that's still partial to the world. Right. What do you mean you're going to get a new body? That's crazy. What do you mean you're going to be delivered by chariots? That part's still crazy. It says, all that I know now is partial and incomplete, but then I will know everything completely, just as Yahweh Bashim Shai knows me completely. Going to those bodies. Yep. 3 things will last forever: faith, hope, and love. And that's a part of faith. Everything we'll mention Exactly. It's all faith. That's right. That's the vision, though. Faith is the vision. Because you have to have faith to see that you're going to rule or that you're going to be delivered or delivered. You have to have faith. And love, and the greatest of these is love, which is charity, right? Which is what we're doing. It's a form of charity too. Charity, exactly. So charity is prophesying. Yeah? Charity edifying.
This is the same verse in the AMP. It reads, "For now, in the time of imperfection, we see in a mirror dimly."
Hey, like this. People are scared of what's going on right now. People are headed in. We're outside. That power alone, the power of lightning and thunder, can destroy the whole world. There's
Yeah.
that one power. Just the power of lightning and thunder has so much power within it, it can destroy armies.
It says, "For now, in this time of imperfection, we see in a mirror dimly a blurred reflection, a riddle, an enigma. But then, when the time of perfection comes, we will see reality, face to face. Now I know."
That's right.
This place is in illusion. It's all fake. Yes. Right? What we see, those are not women. Those are not children.
Woe unto them that turn it upside down.
Yeah. That's why we gave them a new name. We don't call them kids, we call them YS. We don't call them women, we call them baddies. Right? Like everything has a new name in this world.
Can you try and keep it like this?
Oh.
What is that?
Is that okay like that?
Yeah. You're good.
That's fine. It's like,
It says, "Now I know in part, just in fragments, but then I will know fully, just I have been fully known by the Most High."
yeah, you're not going to need, like it says, I see through riddles, right? We're not going to need parables. Right. And eventually you're not going to need faith. You're going to be face to face with the prophecy, Jacob's trouble and all of it. Right? So, yeah, with that, we're going to close up. Okay. Storm's coming down. We're going to face the east, giving all praises.
Oh, don't worry. Face the east outlet. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, B'Kakadash.
Double honors to the apostles, Bishop, elders, the great most of well, and apply his word of truth and sincerity. Peace and mercy to the elect. Started with 144,000 on down. Shabbat,
Shalom.